Well, quite a week for our next guest. He turned 18. He signed his first NHL contract and he played Northlands. It's our pleasure to welcome back to Sekeres and Price, the first overall pick of the 2023 entry draft, Chicago Blackhawks forward and North Van native, Mr. Connor Bedard. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
So, how's your summer going?
It's been good. It's been crazy and busy, but it's been, a lot of fun and, a lot of pretty special moments. So, pretty grateful for a lot of that.
You're and not some special moments to come, I understand. We got a big one for the great guys coming up here in the North Shore Inline Adult Hockey League, huh?
Yeah, must win. So, it's been good. We were on a pretty good heater there, and then lost one, but hopefully get back to it.
It's been fun watching it. Yeah, let me ask you the question that we get a whole lot, and that is, with Bedard and Johnson and everybody else who's on your inline team, how is it that you guys ever lose a game, Connor?
It's a good league. Like we got like a pro team in it that's like I think year round and like playing in tournaments down south and stuff. And then there's a lot of good players in the league, and then a lot of guys that have played roller for a long time that play maybe a little better systematically than us. So, but it's tough. I think that makes it good. It's really competitive and it's a lot of fun. But in the end, it's like you want to win, and all the teams are good. So. It's good games,
and in the end, no contact and all that sort of stuff. So it's a little, it's not a. How much do you use it as preparation? What can you extrapolate out of inline to take to the ice? Anything?
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of like creativity stuff, even just like watching Kent like make plays he does. It's like, oh, maybe I can try that. But no, I think just that part of it. You're out there. You're not as stressed about. I mean, not that. I'm always too stressed about turning it over or whatever, but it's even less there. I think you have so much freedom to try to make plays and everything that you can take into on ice.
Well, on the summer overall, Connor, your non-hockey playing friends and family, they must know you well enough that this was eventually going to happen. But can anybody sort of wrap their head around the summer that you've had yet, or is everybody just thinking that this is just crazy what you've been through?
Yeah, I think it's just been, a pretty crazy whirlwind here. Like, it was weird. It's like the 4 days before the draft. It's like those are, longer days. You're waiting, you're excited and anxious and everything. And then after the day of the draft, then it's like just flies right by. So I guess we're 3-4 weeks removed now from that. So it's pretty wild. And but it was so much fun getting to be there with family, like you said, and a lot of friends getting drafted and everything. So. You kind of look back on that, but it's crazy how quick things went by there.
We've talked to you before, and you've told us you were never sort of fixated on the draft. You had games to play, you had your daily preparation, and that if you took care of that business, the draft would sort of take care of itself. At what point did you start building up the draft, Connor, and did it live up to all your expectations?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, like you said, I'm really focused on kind of the everyday aspect of it, and I didn't want to be in the gym training, just kind of worrying about, I want this day to come. Time always moves at the same speed, so once that day came, a few days there, once we got to Nashville, it was starting to kind of sink in a little bit, but I never really felt real till the moment, if it even felt real then. But no, for me, it was kind of just focusing on things, in the present that I can control kind of at all times.
What was the coolest thing that happened to you in Nashville?
I mean, getting drafted, obviously.
I guess.
Other than that, maybe like the NHL awards was pretty sweet. Just getting to meet a lot of those guys and, kind of just talk to them and everything. And we went on the ice with some kids on the day before that clinic there, which was pretty fun. So, a lot of good things there.
We praised you for your ability to do interviews like this before, but when you're sitting on stage with the TNT crew and all that, everything that went on around you don't get a ton of practice doing that, playing for the Regina Pats. What led you to be able to be as natural doing that sort of stuff as you were? You seem like you're okay with the spotlight on you a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, for me, I was more like shy kid, meeting new people and everything, and then once I kind of got more experience with it and even like public speaking, like I don't mind public speaking much now that I've had some experiences with it. And even there, I didn't really I knew I had the interview. I didn't know I'd have to kind of say a few words there in front, but they made it really easy with asking the questions and stuff. But I think just try to kind of, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I don't feel too uncomfortable now just because of the experiences I've had.
The dressing room helps too, right? Like being in if people never played hockey, the hockey dressing room can be a tough place to be, right? With the barbs flying fast and furious. When there's players up on the panel, you kind of, I imagined, and I actually had this thought when I watched you, sort of throw a stinger at Biz. You just kind of, did you think of it being in a hockey dressing room just a little bit and throwing the usual insults back and forth?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's kind of everything that goes on there, of course, and it's all in good fun, kind of good banter and everything. And I think with all that, getting to be a leader, and this year especially with Regina all year, it helped me with a lot of that speaking because sometimes you gotta be the guy to do it. So obviously there's more serious times than times where you joke around and stuff, but you're always kind of vocal with your teammates and everything.
Connor, of course, the expectations from the outside are enormous. What are your own expectations of yourself for your rookie NHL season?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't, put in my head, any number or anything. For me, the mindset is still go in and make the team. And, that's my goal right now is get better every day and go and have a good camp and, and try to earn my spot on the roster. So, I can control, what I'm going to do for the next month and a half here before and trying to improve myself.
Center, wing, does it bother you? Does it matter to you which position it would be?
I mean, whatever happens, of course. And if I was, playing the NHL, I'd be pretty happy either way. But, personally, I've played more center and, really my wing experiences were with Hockey Canada, of course, and World Juniors and that first U18. So it's limited, but I've definitely played more center, but I don't mind either position.
What are you working on? What are you working on this summer? Particularly if you're going to be a center, I would assume that you want to sort of make sure that you're ready for that responsibility. What are you working on this summer?
Yeah, I think, cliche, but a bit of everything, of course. And for me, I think we do a lot of kind of battle stuff here and play 3-on-3 or whatever. So if you can, maybe try a little harder on defense than you usually would or whatnot and try to, do that. But when I'm obviously trying to get better, all your skills and of course in the gym, your speed, power, strength and everything. So, I think, but when you can have a time where you can focus on, a face off, even if it's just for fun or kind of like a D zone position, you try to focus a little more on it.
General Manager Kyle Davidson, or Man on the Street as he's known in Nashville, has talked about bringing in Corey Perry, bringing in Nick Foligno, surrounding you with a certain kind of player and the right kind of players. What have you made of the moves the Blackhawks have made, and how much have you been communicating with Foligno and Perry?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's great for the team, and obviously bringing in a lot of those guys, Hall, Foligno, Perry, like you said. And, of course, those are three guys that have had, unbelievable careers and been on winning teams. And, of course, Perry's, won a cup and everything. And, I think with Foligno and Hall coming in from Boston and having, a record-breaking season, of course, I got to talk to Foligno a bit about that and kind of the mindset, coming into the rink every day. And, I think that'll be really good for everyone. But it's going to help the team win. Those are great players, and obviously big moves that it's pretty exciting for the franchise.
Taylor Hall would be pretty something special on the wing, the way he can score and the way he can skate, huh?
Yeah, he's a great player, like you said there, with his speed and scoring ability and skill. I mean, Hart Trophy winner, so pretty special when you can add a guy like that, to the team for sure.
Some sharp elbows on guys like Foligno and Perry, too, to create some room for yourself. How much do you think about the physicality of the game? Do you remember the most physical game you've played in? And have you sort of drawn comparisons to that in your own mind of what you're going to see on a nightly basis? What are you expecting in the physical side of things?
Hockey's a contact sport. It's not something that, I think about too much. Obviously, if, Ryan Reeves gets good contact with me, I'm not going to get the better end of that. But for me, it's kind of about having my head up and trying to make good plays, and sometimes you got to get hit, and that's part of the game. And if there's a play to make and you got to take a little bump, then you're going to do that for the better of your team. But you want to be smart, and for me, that's kind of having my head up and not trying to do too much and everything. So I think if I'm playing there, it'd kind of be a feel out thing for sure.
So much was made about not just you, but British Columbia hockey, Connor, in the first round of this draft. When you take a look at all the BC kids that went, and of course we got Macklin and a whole other flight of BC kids coming next year. What does it mean to you to be a part of what has been a couple of terrific classes here of British Columbia hockey players that have made their way to the NHL?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, for us, we grew up together, we played with and against each other, and it just made us so much better because you're competing with those guys. You want to be better than them. You want to, beat them and everything. And for me, that was so big for me. And I know talking to, like Crystal and those guys, that they said the same thing. And for all of us getting to skate together in the summer and, like I said, always have that competitiveness with each other. It's been really good for us. But, in the end, we're all friends. We're all really good friends, and getting to see each other's success and, be drafted and everything. It's been really, really fun.
You, Andrew, and Kent obviously spend a lot of time together. The summer on ice training, though, in on actual ice skates, who are you training with there? Like veteran NHL guys, or is it mostly young guys?
Yeah, like I'm with Andrew, his brother, and Kent, basically every skate, and then a lot of guys, Christensen, Angus Cruikshank, Barzell a bit, Hopkins, Jujar, Heinen, like the list goes on. We get really good skates going, and they're really competitive. Those are good players, of course. So challenging each other.
Lastly, Connor, for me, for those who are going to watch this on YouTube, they'll see you in your Blackhawks polo. Now, we know you grew up a Canucks fan. Have you had to purge the closet of all Canucks paraphernalia? Is that job yet done?
Yeah, I mean, of course you have things from growing up, jerseys and whatnot here, but I got some kind of, obviously the draft jersey and everything that you kind of put over it now. It's pretty funny kind of how it worked out with the rivalry they had when I was, a young kid. So, but it's awesome. I'm happy to be on this side of it, of course. And, now it feels different, but, no, I mean, I've always, loved the Canucks, like you guys know. And, I wouldn't, throw away kind of that stuff from growing up. Those are great memories for sure.
Just set them aside just in case somewhere way down the road.
And we do this on a week in which Keith and Seabrook are going into the BC Hockey Hall of Fame as well. So it's all coming together here for you here, Connor. Thanks so much for doing this, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys.
This Sekeres and Price clip brought to you by Northlands Golf Course. 6 to 90-day advance bookings relaunching on March 1st. Limited availability and conditions apply. Visit golfnorthlands.com for more details.